The coronavirus continues to spread its wings, with the latest reports saying that the deadly virus has now been detected in at least 50 countries. There are more disturbing reports coming from Iran, where the death toll has reached at least 210. The effects of the new virus has also taken its toll on the world Sensex, with the global share market plunging sharply in the past few days. Good morning, I'm Sarah Sapsanama, and these are the top stories of the hour. NCP Executive Chairman Dahal warns Co-Chairman and Prime Minister KP Sharma Oli of dire consequences if he discards a party decision. Oli refuses to nominate Bamdev Gautam as National Assembly member. Government's preparation to contain possible novel coronavirus outbreak remains dismal, expedites tourism promotion in virus-affected countries aimed at tourism promotion. Rising novel coronavirus threat in Iran as death toll reaches 210. The figure is 6 times higher than the official death toll of 34. And Nepal kickstarts ACC Eastern Region T20 campaign with a match against Malaysia later today. Host Thailand taking on Singapore. Let us begin with the national political updates. Executive Chairman of the ruling Nepal Communist Party Pushpa Kamal Dahal has tightened the noose on Co-Chairman and Prime Minister KP Sharma Oli, citing no one has leeway to go against the party's decision. Chairman Oli, however, has refused to budge from his stance. In a meeting with the party's senior leader Madhav Kumar Nepal yesterday afternoon, Premier Oli reiterated that he would not implement the party's secretariat's decisions to nominate Vice Chairman Bamdev Gautam as the National Assembly member. We have a report.
The panel associated with Executive Chairman of the ruling Nepal Communist Party, Pushpa Kamal Dahal, is recently busy in formulating necessary strategy after Chairman Oli's contradictory stance against the Secretariat's decision. Chairman Dahal held a meeting with senior leaders Chalanath Khanal and Madhav Kumar Nepal, along with Vice Chairman Gautam, pertaining to Premier Oli's reluctance to abide by the Secretariat decision. At the meeting, the 4 leaders dwelt on the ways forward if Co-Chairman Oli continues with his arrogant ways. The leaders concluded that there was no alternative for Chairman Oli other than abiding by the decision. Otherwise, he should be ready to face consequences. Although senior leader Nepal informed Chairman Oli about the outcome of the meeting, according to sources, Oli reiterated his stance to continue with Finance Minister Khatiwada as a National Assembly member. While addressing a press conference in Bharatpur, Chairman Dahal insisted that the Secretariat's decision would be implemented in any pretext. Dahal is also of the view that the Prime Minister could give continuity to incumbent Finance Minister Yuvraj Khatiwada's tenure for another 6 months by nominating Gautam as a National Assembly member. The recent turn of events suggests that both the factions are rigid to their respective stances, giving strong indication that the ruling Nepal Communist Party is likely to face further inter-party turmoil in the weeks to follow.
And moving on, the global spread of novel coronavirus has affected Nepal's tourism industry as well. Many foreign tourists have recently been cancelling their hotel bookings. There are now growing pressure on the government to call off its Tourism Year 2020 campaign. On the contrary, the government remains active, holding promotional activities in the virus-affected countries. Almost 15,600 Chinese tourists visited Nepal in the month of February last year. However, with the coronavirus outbreak, the number of Chinese tourists visiting Nepal is bound to go down. Along with China, the number of tourists coming from India, Japan and South Korea, among other countries, too have drastically gone down, while the tourists from many European countries have been cancelling their hotel bookings on a daily basis. The government, however, has expedited tourism promotional activities in the countries that are devastated by the coronavirus outbreak, citing its aim to bring in 200 million tourists to make the Tourism Year 2020 a success. On the other hand, the authorities have not paid enough attention towards setting up effective measures in case the virus spreads in Nepal as well. Many nations that have witnessed the outbreak have already beefed up their vigilance aimed at containing the virus. Nepal has, however, failed to take any other concrete measures in this regard other than setting up a body temperature screening facility at the Tribhuvan International Airport, although the World Health Organization has already enlisted Nepal as one among the high-risk countries to suffer from the novel coronavirus outbreak. And with that, we'll take a short break here. We have more news coming up. Welcome back. Former Communications Minister Gokul Baskota has filed a case against Vijay Prakash Mishra, who is a Nepali agent for Swiss equipment supplier. The case has been filed at Kathmandu District Court under public defamation and false allegations. Mishra had leaked an audio tape of Gokul Baskota where the former minister was heard bargaining for commission worth 700 million rupees during the procurement of security printing press. Baskota has filed a case claiming that the allegations against him are baseless. Baskota resigned from his position after the audio tape was leaked. Only yesterday, Premier KP Sharma Oli publicly defended Baskota, saying that his minister was framed and victimized. With that, we'll move on to the international update. At least 210 people in Iran have died as a result of the new coronavirus disease, sources in the country's health system have told BBC Persian. Most of the victims are from the capital Tehran and from the city of Qom, where cases of COVID-19 first emerged. The figure is 6 times higher than the official death toll of 34 given by the Health Ministry earlier on Friday. Ministry spokesman Kianus Jahanpur, however, insisted it was being transparent and accused the BBC of spreading lies. It comes after a member of the parliament for Qom accused the authorities of a cover-up, and the US expressed concern that they may not be sharing information. US Secretary of State Mike Pompeo told a congressional committee in Washington that they had made offers of help to Islamic Republic of Iran. Meanwhile, Iranian Foreign Ministry spokesman Abbas Mousavi dismissed the offer of help. Friday, prayers in Tehran and 22 other cities were cancelled and schools and universities closed. Thousands of Iranians have also been stranded inside and outside the country as many flights have been stopped to and from Iran. Iran has also been the source of dozens of cases in neighboring countries, including Afghanistan, Bahrain, Iraq, Kuwait, Oman and Pakistan. And moving on to more international news, the global stock markets around the world plunged sharply on Friday amid fears that increased travel restrictions will prevent all business activities. Australia, Japan, Taiwan, Hong Kong, Europe, India and North American Sensex market has fallen more than 10% since its recent record high of 7,162 last week. This is the biggest weekly drop since 2008 during the financial crisis. Meanwhile, the coronavirus outbreak has reached a decisive point and has pandemic potential, World Health Organization head Tedros Ghebreyesus said. Tedros urged governments to act swiftly and aggressively to contain the virus. His comments come as countries around the world battle to prevent the virus spreading further. For a second day, more cases have been reported outside than inside China. Iran and Italy have become major centers of infection, with people traveling from there spreading the virus to other countries. The Netherlands, Belarus, Switzerland are among many European countries which has been affected by the virus. Globally, more than 80,000 people in nearly 50 countries have been infected. Nearly 2,800 people have died, the majority in China's Hubei province. And with that, we have more news coming up, but right now it's time for yet another short break. In our Public Voice segment, we had asked the senior citizens in Rukum district what sort of behavior did they wish to see on behalf of their children. Let's take a look at what they had to say.
Public Voice.
हामीलाई राम्रो खाना दिने बुढाबेलती मिठो खाना दिने अनि राम्रो बोली गर्ने बाहिरभित्र सुविधा पात गरिदिने
छोराछोरी आउन वरिपरि बसुन् नजानेको सोधुन् क्या हो कसो भनुन्
यो अमीर सिमलाईमा गरेको चिजलाई छोराछोरीहरूले नाति नातिनीहरूले पनि यो नछोडुन्
उन्नति प्रगति गरून् ज्ञानी बनुन् सुख शान्ति पाउन् तिनले अरूलाई पनि सुख शान्ति दिने
And time now for our segment Public Pulse, where you text us with your opinion.
Public Pulse.
And the question is, what precautions could be taken to curb the possible outbreak of coronavirus? Your options are A. Control international arrival, B. Quarantine preparations, and C. Increase awareness. The voting is on. Type NEWS, select your option A, B or C and send it to 34001 to share your opinion with us. Time now for the sports update.
Sports news.
ACC Eastern Region T20 kicked off in Thailand from today. Nepal is taking on Malaysia in its opening match. The match slated at Trade Thai Ground in Bangkok is slated for 12:15 p.m. kickoff. Team Nepal are the top contenders for the Five-Nation tournament. Nepal is the only team with the ODI status among the 5 participating teams. Nepal aims to kick off the campaign with an easy victory over Malaysia today. Nepal's only defeat against Malaysia in the T20 format had come in 2009 in the ACC T20 Cup. Nepal had thrashed host Malaysia in July 2019, clinching the 2-match series 2-0. Meanwhile, Team Nepal has said that it was not going to undermine the opponents as Malaysia recently clean swept a 5-match series against Hong Kong. The tournament is a qualifier for the Asia Cup T20 Championship. Nepal, Malaysia, Singapore, Hong Kong and Thailand are the 5 teams in the fray from the eastern region. Host Thailand is currently taking on Singapore in the inaugural match of the tournament that started a short while ago. Norwich City have registered a crucial win over Leicester in the English Premier League match played late last night. The win has boosted Norwich's chances of relegation survival. The first half of the match played in the home ground of Norwich had ended goalless. Norwich scored the all-important goal in the 70th minute through Jamal Lewis. The match, however, was not free from controversy as Leicester's goal in the 49th minute was ruled out after VAR assistance. The bottom-placed Norwich City now has 21 points from 28 matches. The third-placed Leicester has 50 points. There are 5 more matches slated for Premier League today. Brighton takes on Crystal Palace, while Bournemouth is up against Chelsea in another match. Likewise, Newcastle is taking on Burnley, West Ham against Southampton, and Watford is hosting league leaders Liverpool. Thailand have crashed out of the group stage of the ongoing Women T20 World Cup with the 3rd consecutive defeat yesterday. South Africa defeated Thailand by 113 runs to register the biggest win in the history of Women's T20 World Cup. Electing to bat first in Canberra, South Africa posted a commanding total of 195 runs, losing 3 wickets. Ligel Lille scored a century for South Africa that included 14 fours and 3 sixes. Likewise, Sean Lewis scored 61 runs for South Africa. In reply, Thailand were bowled out for 82 runs in 19.1 overs. Subneem Smell and Sean Lewis claimed 3 wickets each for South Africa to script an easy victory. Meanwhile, in another match played yesterday, England defeated Pakistan by 42 runs. Sent into bat first, England scored 158 runs for the loss of 7 wickets. Heather Knight top scored for England with 62 runs. Chasing a victory target of 159 runs, Pakistan were bowled out for 116 runs in the last over.
Nice shot. On top of the bounce.
Time now for our special segment, Media Watch.
The power conflict within the ruling Nepal Communist Party made the headlines this week on a regular basis. The party leadership has been claiming the party of being united, while it actually seems to be divided on the issue of who to appoint as member of the National Assembly between Bamdev Gautam and Yuvraj Khatiwada. Prime Minister KP Sharma Oli is in favor of retaining Finance Minister Khatiwada as a member of the upper house, despite the party's Secretariat Committee meeting on Wednesday deciding unanimously to recommend Vice Chairman Gautam to be appointed. While unveiling the cabinet decision on Thursday, Finance Minister Khatiwada hinted that he would take the oath as a member of the upper house on 4th of March. The price of gold hit a record high of 80,300 rupees per tola in the Nepalese market on Monday. The price of the precious yellow metal went up by 1,500 rupees per tola on a single day to reach the record high price. Economists have opined the price of gold has surged not only in Nepal, but in the international market as well, as investors have been buying gold due to the risk of investing in other sectors amid the coronavirus outbreak. The price of gold in the international market was on average $1,620 per ounce last month, which increased by $24 this month. The Nepalese stock market set new records on Thursday. A total of 10,859,000 units of shares were transacted on the day, which is a new record. Transaction amount of 4.46 billion rupees was also recorded on Thursday, setting another record in the country's share market. Nepal Life Insurance Company alone underwent share transaction worth 289.2 million rupees on the day. The NEPSE index increased by 36 points after Thursday's transactions. This is Abhyuday Shrestha for Media Watch and Kantipur News Desk.
Before wrapping up, here's a look at the top stories once again. NCP Executive Chairman Dahal warns co-chairman and Prime Minister KP Sharma Oli of dire consequences if he discards party decision. Oli refuses to nominate Bamdev Gautam as National Assembly member. Government's preparation to contain possible novel coronavirus outbreak remains dismal, expedites tourism promotion in virus-affected countries aimed at tourism promotion. Rising novel coronavirus threat in Iran as death toll reaches 210. The figure is 6 times higher than the official death toll of 34. And Nepal kickstarts ACC Eastern Region T20 campaign with a match against Malaysia later today. Host Thailand taking on Singapore. That's all for the moment. Keep watching Kantipur Television HD for more news and entertainment. Have a great day ahead.